The Rebel Kindness. Characters: Sophia, the main character. Lena, Sophia's best friend. Mr. Walker, Sophia's neighbor. Carlos, Sophia's friend. Sophia often felt like she was drifting through life, surrounded by the noise of the city. She seemed to be stuck in a routine, disconnected from the people around her. Everything appeared fine on the surface. Friends, a job, and a home. But something inside her felt missing. To escape the growing loneliness, she often found herself at the park, where the quiet stillness of the trees and the few people swearing the paths gave her a sense of peace. Walking through the park one afternoon, she spotted Mr. Walker, an elderly man, was sitting alone on a bench, lost in thought. Something small shifted inside Sophia, and for the first time in a while, she wondered if maybe it's time to step in and change things. She sits beside him, offering a gentle smile. Mr. Walker glances at her, his eyes tired but kind. He mentions how he has been lonely since his wife passed away. Sophia listens, her heart heavy with understanding, and she stays a little longer before heading on her way. Later at Cody Cave, Sophia meets Lena, her close friend, and recounts her encounter with Mr. Walker. Lena suggests organizing a small community, even something simple that could help people connect. Sophia is reluctant, at first unsure if anyone would be interested, but after some back and forth, she agrees to consider the idea. That evening, Sophia sits at her kitchen table, worried no one will show up or that it will fall flat. But thinking of Mr. Walker's lonely eyes, something shifts inside her. With a deep breath, she decides to take the plunge. The next day, Sophia walks around the neighborhood, posting flyers she's created hoping they'll catch people's attention. The morning of the event, Sophia arrives at the park early, feeling a knot in her stomach. She arranges blankets and sets up chairs. Slowly, people start to trickle in. The atmosphere begins to feel warmer, more hopeful. Sophia feels a small but growing sense of accomplishment as she sees people greeting each other with genuine smiles. As the event starts, Sophia stands nervously at the front, but Lena encourages her to speak. Sophia starts speaking, saying, "I would like Mr. Walker's share first." As the sun starts to set, Mr. Walker stands up, his voice a little shaky, and shares a story about his late wife. He speaks of their love. His voice cracks. The group listens intently, the warmth of the sunset echoing the warmth between the people gathered. Afterward, as the evening comes down, Sophia finds herself by the table with Carlos. He compliments her on how successful the event has been. Sophia asks, will these connections one last? Carlos, with a smile, reassures her kindness creates ripples, she says. As the event comes to a close, Sophia watches from the edge of the gathering. As people begin to say their goodbyes, the park is now filled with the sounds of slaughter. She feels proud of what she's helped create. The following week, Sophia walked through the neighborhood, noticing subtle changes. Neighbors who once barely acknowledged now greet one another. She sees Mr. Walker sitting on his porch, smiling and waving to others as they walk by. The ripple effect of this event is the months later, Sophia receives a handwritten note from Mr. Walker, thanking her for bringing the community together. He writes that he no longer feels lonely. She realizes the depth of what she's done and the difference that she's made in someone's life. Sophia returns to the park one morning. The place where it all began is alive with activity now. People chatting, laughing, sharing stories. She feels a sense of fulfillment wash over her, knowing her small acts of kindness has grown into something lasting. That evening, as Sophia sits by her window watching the city lights flicker in the distance, she smiles. She no longer feels disconnected or uncertain. The ripples of kindness she set in motion have created lasting change, and she knows that even the smallest gesture can have an impact. She feels more connected to the world, more at the peace with herself, and with a renewed sense of hope for the future. Keep watching, there's more! At the Big story, Sophia feels disconnected despite having routine, a job, and friends. She's surrounded by people but feels isolated and lonely because she lacks meaningful connections. Her routine shields her from truly engaging with others or herself. By the end, after organizing the community, even Sophia feels more connected to her neighbors and herself. She learns that small acts of kindness can create lasting change, not just for others, but for herself too. She finds a sense of purpose and belonging, replacing her isolation with a deeper connection to the world around her. Small acts of kindness can create a ripple effect deeply impacting individuals and entire communities. Even when uncertain, stepping out of your comfort zone to connect with others can lead to meaningful change. Simple gestures like listening or offering companionship can help alleviate loneliness and build a sense of belonging. Ultimately, the story shows that every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to create lasting positive change. The Ripple of Kindness by Adya Lurie. Voiceover by Lokia Lurie. Please subscribe our channel.